it's day 21 of Camp NaNo. It is like 10:20-ish, I think, at night. So I have wrapped up everything and just have to get this video up. And so today we hit 30,000 words. I wrote about almost 1,900 words today. I was going to keep going, but I realized that I was kind of getting close to the end of my story, which is normally fine. Like, that's where we want to be. Except I still have 10K to go to even get to the 40,000. I don't think I have that much, planned out in my head. So what I did is I stopped actually writing for the day, which, 1,900 words is pretty good anyhow. And I actually went and kind of figured out some scenes that I know I need to add. And I started making a list in my document at the very end of, you need to go back and add this, you need to do this, you need to do this, essentially. So that I could have those to begin working on once I hit the end of the draft. Because this draft is just so off pace right now for where the story needs to go, that I am aiming to get it done and start kind of redrafting right off the bat instead of letting it sit, just because I know where I need to fix some major issues that need to be fixed before I can continue on. So one of the other things I actually started doing was going through my document and picking out scenes. And what I mean by that is I have a bunch of index cards here, and I started putting down the scenes. And some of these, actually, the scene went from one chapter to another. It kind of cut off one of the introductions. It begins in one chapter and ends in the next. And so even though that is kind of a split, I didn't look at the chapters, I just looked at the scenes. And in doing this, I am getting an idea of what I have right now. So I will be taking these, I will be doing the rest of the document probably tomorrow. And in doing that, I will be also including cards, probably with a different color. Actually, no, with this color. I will be adding in those scenes that I had listed, that I had said I had listed at the end of my document, to make sure that they get put in this kind of, not really a web, I don't really know what to call it, kind of just like a makeshift outline. I am going to be re-outlining this novel, and that is when I will kind of show you guys how I outline using Google Docs and making the series Bible using just Google Docs. But what this is currently doing for me by using these cards is telling me where I need to go and what I need to fix. I will be putting in either a separate card or maybe in my creative journal things that I know need to change. I've talked about how the first half I kind of rush into Lucky really opening up, and she needs to kind of pull back. So there's one scene where she actually is talking about her family that I am going to be having someone else talk about the family in that instance instead of her, just so she doesn't have that dialogue right off. So her dialogue is going to be very limited in the beginning. I also have to edit some chapters and put them in different points of view. I have talked about how I'm going to have a few points of view for each book, John and Lucky being the main two, but the rest are going to fluctuate depending on the character and whose stories really need to be told. For this one, I think it's going to be... For this first one, I think it's going to be John, Lucky, Edward, and Alice. I don't think, as of right now, where the story is, there's going to be another point of view added. The second one, already I know I'm probably going to remove Alice and Edward and have some other people, such as Candace, one of the other sisters, and maybe a new character as well, because that character's story kind of builds onto Lucky's. And so I think that might be a good angle to kind of try and take the second one from. But I'm still trying to figure out that first one, because right now about 90% of it is John, and I think it needs to change and have some additions to it. But I will bring up these note cards probably either tomorrow or the next day as I do more with them and kind of show you what I'm trying to do with them. I might, when I do that, flip them over or use like extras. I don't really know, just so like it doesn't spoil anything, but I can kind of show you how I mean by organizing them. This is the very first scene in the book, so I'm not too worried about spoilers because it's really just an introduction. So that's why I'm kind of like, here, have a card. I don't even know sometimes, guys. I really don't. So yeah, that is all I have for today. We reached 30K. And I'm just so excited that this book is kind of starting to go somewhere and I'm kind of seeing where it needs to be altered. I also know I need a lot more description of like the land and everything, which that will come as well. So hopefully we will finish the book in the next day or two, and hopefully we will have these ready to go at that time, because I don't want to end camp early or not hit my goal just because the story was ready to end at that point. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.